Rankers from Big Gay Horror Fan getting musical with the amazing Brian Amidei, one of the founding members of the amazing Wildclaw Theater here in Chicago, the only theater in Illinois devoted entirely to the awesome art of horror.
Always got to hit that last syllable.
Horror. Do you find even when you say horror, like people automatically assume you said horror?
Yeah.
Yes, I try so hard.
What do you guys do? Oh, we have a horror theater company. A horror theater company? No.
It's not like burlesque.
No, horror. Monsters.
Yeah, I try horror. So what was the impetus? What was just, you weren't seeing what you wanted to see on stage? What was the impetus to fun?
I would love to take credit for it.
Okay.
The credit goes to Charlie Sherman, our former artistic director and founding member, who's still part of the company, but he has buggered off to England.
All right.
With our...
Not a bad place to bugger off.
No, he's originally from England, but he, many years ago in 1994, he and Steve Pickering adapted Clive Barker's In the Flesh for the Organic. And that was the first time I'd heard of it, and I went and saw that. I didn't know Charlie at the time, but it was brilliant, and it scared me in a way that I'd never been scared in a movie, or that I'd never been scared in a live theater environment, and I'd only come close to that in a movie environment, and I thought, wow, I didn't know you could do that in live theater. So fast forward 12 years, and he started Wildclaw, and he assembled 7 crackpots around his coffee table, and he said, you want to do this? And then the next most important evolution in this was Charlie Thanis at that meeting said, and he does all of our posters, and he's brilliant, graphic artist, genius. And he said, are you guys, okay, I just need to know one thing. Is this serious, or is this satire, wink at the audience? Because if this is satire, wink at the audience, best of luck to you, but I'm not interested. And we all went, oh no, seriously, we're all theater people, and we're about character and drama and conflict and relationships and stuff that makes good drama. Yeah. And so that was where it came. The moment I got involved, though, I realized that it was absolutely an underserved audience. I've said it 1,000 times before. There's a very stable theater going audience. It doesn't get bigger. It doesn't really get smaller, and they do theater. Horror movies are #1 at the box office. The worst horror movie in the world is #1 at the box office the weekend it comes out.
Oh yeah.
And that audience doesn't go to theater.
No.
Because they don't think theater has anything to offer them, and they're usually right. And we started thinking immediately, if we can tap into that audience, then we don't have to worry about that audience that 250 other theater companies are fighting over. That stable audience.
Have you found that the Devil Inside fans and the Underworld Part 10 fans are coming?
Yes, it's slower than I we're in our 5th year, and it's slower than I wanted it. There was this little thing called the economic collapse that affected things.
A real life horror or horror.
But we're here and we're still going, and we paid all of our debts, and we don't owe anybody any money, and we see the same faces over and over and over.
Good.
And our last show, Carmilla, the people at the Department of Cultural Affairs, which we did downtown, they came up to us and they said that 70% of our audience had never been to their theater before.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. And you were a major part of some of this theater, The Revenants, Carmilla. And you've always amazed me as an actor. You're always very natural and believable, and I can't tell you how many times, whether it's, I think it was Dreams of the Witch House, you played a couple different characters, and I couldn't tell, that it was you. So, what is your process? Do you just kind of...
That's a fascinating question. Yeah, I don't know if I have. I don't know how to define my process. Yeah. Because I don't know if I have a process. I definitely need rehearsal. So I know some actors that don't need rehearsal as badly as I do. Yeah. My process is listening. It's over the years. It's really come down to listening to what the actors are doing and listening to what the director tells you to do, and hopefully getting out of your own way, because I tend to make things more difficult. But
I think you hear that about the best actors. Is that when other actors work with them, that they, there's a process, there's a struggle, and they have to get out of their own way. But I think that happens when you hear people talking about the amazing actors.
My instincts for myself are usually wrong.
Yeah.
And I could probably direct the hell out of someone else's scene, but when it comes to my instincts for myself, they're generally wrong. And I love directors and I love taking direction because they say do this, and then we'll do it once and it'll feel odd, and then I'll do it the second time and I'll be like, why haven't I been doing it this way all along?
That's funny. Well, dude, but you get there. You get there. Your stuff's amazing. Whether it's a zombie, which you played in The Revenants, a lord or a cultural figure like in Carmella, it's always amazing to me. So definitely check out. It's Wildclaw Theater.
Wildclaw Theater. Kill Me opens Monday, February 13th at the Athenaeum Theater at the corner of Southport and Wellington in Chicago, Illinois.